I want to focus on this comment over here. Why am I focusing on it? Because he's referencing scam scandals. Now, in the past, I've never go and check. I've never taken my time to respond to anybody calling me scam. Why? Because I feel most of them had the feeling to call me names, and I don't blame them. I'm somebody who knows how to focus on one thing at a time. So I could be having a conversation with you right now, and the moment I'm going back to a project I'm working on, I would not even reply you again till whenever I'm off that project. So now most people who don't know me, who has never used any of my product before, would likely feel this person was responsive. Why is it suddenly not available? And now their first instinct will be, have I been scammed? Now majority of the times they would want to wait longer, and then when I'm back, I'm like, oh sorry, I was unavailable. This was what I was working on. Okay, in regards to this, this is it. Now this has something to do with whether you pay me money or not, whether you haven't had any payment with me. I mean, it makes no difference. I sometimes go off, just like the last time I uploaded a video on OKBot was weeks before I started uploading now. So if you have been noticing, I complained about the bot state not being good. On my Instagram, I also stated that I'm going to be going offline for some days, and this is because I had to focus. I'm not able to focus, like when I'm focusing on something, I don't talk, so I can't work on something while talking. So if I scroll down on my Instagram, you're going to see where I said offline for 72 hours. This is crucial. So you can go listen to the audio. I was practically talking about database. So this was after some days I had explained that okay, um I had issues with what we call bot states. So in a nutshell, when you use the OKBot software, sorry, when you use the OKBot software, every single thing you do was backed up. So we back up your local storage, we back up your cookies. So this is why it beats bot detection system, because it's more like we're managing your profiles for you. So there was an issue on OKBot where there were lots of data and the server crashed. Now if you scroll down, my personal Instagram is my vlog. So if you scroll down over here, you can say this is a painful approach. I had to delete every single thing on OKBot. Look at the date. This was 11th of July. So you see that 11th of July, I had an issue where I had to delete. Look at it, Mayday, Mayday, 11th of July, Mayday, Mayday. So I had to delete so many things on my database just so that people could actually use the OKBot software. I'm the lead developer. So now, why this was happening, I couldn't, talk to anybody. I was isolated. I made an announcement that, see, unfortunately, I won't have to be available for some time. After which, I went back to another of my company, which is Renaps. So within this period, I was coding a prediction software that was able to predict virtual games. This is one of my companies as well. So I didn't have time for OKBot not until I came back to OKBot on the 4th of August. Can you actually see that I left OKBot for almost how many weeks? Within this week, I bet you I was not anything involved with OKBot. I had to leave OKBot on its own. So that's why I said it is not always the way it looks like, because I'm able to focus on one thing at a time. So my biggest flaw is picking up the wrong team. Each time I'm not going to be available, I would always have people to represent me. Most of the time, I'm not good at picking people who would represent me, just like what happened in this case, where when people couldn't reach out to me directly, they had to make payments to this person over here. And when I came back, I started seeing that a lot of people had make payment to this person, and it was dawning back at me. So I had explained every single thing that had happened, and the project is done at the moment. We're able to finish OK, but it is fine, it is working at the moment. But then it took about 7 months to do the project. I'm happy I keep track of my log, and I also make lots of updates. If I should scroll down, there was a point I talked about the OK bot. I talked about okay, this was when I said I'm hibernating for 48 hours. So I actually go sometimes I go offline for like a week. This was when our office was robbed. So Okekbot office at Abuja, Nigeria was robbed. This was on the 10th of June. So we came up one day to the office. Our computers were missing. Some group of people just came in. You can go check the video on my Instagram. But if I let the video go longer, you would see where I had got into the office, and while I was moving around the office, you can see that there were a lot of thefts. The video is long, but you can go check it out at my Instagram. I want to wait a bit to see so you can see when I entered the what is it called again? When I entered the office, it's taking so long. I wish I could fast forward. Please go watch it. Go watch it. I wouldn't want to stay here for longer period of time. Okay, so I go offline whenever I have to focus on anything at all. So now when I go offline, people are not able to reach me, and that has always been a problem for me. It's always a problem for me. When I'm not available, people feel something is bad. Now this was when I posted a disclaimer about this, person over here. Okay, so this user right now is coming out to accuse me of being a scam. So in his own opinion, the days I was not reachable, I probably scammed him. So even if he knows we have an office, we have a software, the whole thing is finally done, he somehow feels that within that period of this communication, he was scammed. So I always use the word "it is not always true," not because I actually scam in any way, but because I know that to an extent I have to focus. So if I don't put my whole mind into something, it means I can't get it done. But yet still too, when somebody walks up to your company and they paid for something and maybe the people you put in place are not able to actually attend to them straightforwardly, they sign phone money, it doesn't go to that person, it goes to you. Your company would be held responsible. So for instance now, even though this guy had taken money for lots of people, we had to still give those people the products they paid for. They paid to him, it wasn't to the company, but because he was working under our umbrella, we had to, pay whoever, gave him money while he was still working with us. It's painful as a business owner, you run into losses because of this, but I mean that is what you get when you don't have people there who could represent you. So fast forward, let's back to the comments. So I had replied him and I told him that, before now we had a course. So if you check this video, this was like when we had to reshoot most of our videos. We had a course talking about how to build, an AdSense bot. Not really an AdSense bot, but how to build a bot. So I happen to build the OK bot software. I've been creating softwares around automation for quite some time. I believe if you know me in person, you know I do bot. That's what I do. We have lots of developers. We have people who do software. We have people who do apps like mobile apps. We have people who do websites. I, for a person, I am more focused on automation. My major concern on software development is to create things that are related to automations. So automation is my thing. And last year, 2023, I had created a course around how to create a bot, just like what you see here on OKBot. But the problem was this course was quite difficult for people who don't code to learn. So if you're somebody who is not a software developer, you're going to be told, oh, you should go and install Node.js, you should use your terminal, you should type in this, you should type in that. So most people were not familiar with all these things. So when they paid for this course and they were learning, at a point in time, they felt this was too much for me. I don't code, I don't do software programming, I'm not a developer. I just want to drive my CPC up. I want to get views. I want to get impressions. I'm not in for all these things. So because of those complaints, I had to start creating something that had a user interface, something people could install instead of getting to like code themselves, something people could actually just click buttons, do minimal things, and everything work. People don't have to take a full course because if you check here, this phase one, for instance, had one, two, three, four, five, six, seven videos for this one. If I head over to the second one, you can see about 11 videos. One, two, three, four. It's funny right now, but it was not funny then. People had to go through all these courses as if they're actually applying for a master's degree just to learn how to create a bot. So when I discovered it was a problem for me, I said, okay, I'm a software developer. I've been doing this for some time. So I'm going to create something that has a user interface. People would not have to code anything. They would just have to, use the software out of the box. So if you go through my Instagram, which is where I do, don't mind me, I'm a funny person most times. You see, no just puppeteer. So this is what I do. I create automations and all that. Okay, so I started building up the OKEC bot. You can see the date. This was all my updates. April 29th. If I keep going down, you can see this was me at the office talking about OKEC bots because we have an office. So yeah, I was talking about it. Also showing my Google AdSense account because I had ones that were working for me and I was making lots of updates. And don't mind me. I could be funny sometimes. So this was also when I was making lots of update about, Puppeteer. I use Puppeteer. I use Node.js. I use Electron. I mean, I'm a software developer, so this is my thing, and I'm a funny one at that anyway. So this was everything I had to do to Kegbots. I was making lots and lots of updates around it and all that. So now I had to like code something people could use instead of going through this course. And now he's saying he's giving me an accusation right now that I took money and I never gave him a bot. So at this point in time, I don't even know if he paid to the company, if they spoke to me, if it was when I was not available. So I would have just said sorry, but I want to use this opportunity to say I'm deeply sorry for everybody who felt they were scammed, because I happen to be somebody who is quite dedicated to his work. When I'm coding, I'm not good at multitasking. Now, in regards to the scandals you're seeing online, it is not true, and I will prove it to you. Now, most of these people who signed up for this class, they were not able to finish it for two major reasons. Now, somewhere in between, our videos were removed for community guidelines. We had cases where our videos would just be removed. I think I even had that same thing on Okekbot. Let me show you on Okekbot so it doesn't look like I'm saying rubbish. I want you to see it. I'm going to head over to YouTube. You will see that YouTube is always on my neck. They want to kill me. They want to, I don't want to use foul words. They want to do it to me. You can see this. I have lots of videos like this. You can see this. You see dangerous item, right? It's saying I'm violating their policy. So these videos I make, YouTube doesn't want me to teach you guys how to do the things I'm doing. So when I make these videos, they delete it, but it's somehow difficult to explain because I made these videos, they removed it. I came online. Oh, I mean, they removed our videos. I think I did a video. Okay, I gave him an evidence. I said, see, this was when I complained. If you go watch this video over here, I was complaining that most of our videos were removed. That when we make a video, they will take this video down. So, whole Google AdSense class is a challenge, and the challenge doesn't get okay. I talked about the phase one and the phase two. I also talked about when we make videos, these videos get removed. So if you're watching this video, you can go check this thing over here. I was basically trying to tell him that this thing started as a course. We're teaching people how to create a bot, so they had to do this themselves, but it was difficult for people who couldn't program. It was quite difficult for them, which was confusing for non-programmers. Okay, so and I said I've seen his previous comments because this person, I've seen his comment before. It's always around, oh, you're a scammer, oh, somebody paid you, you took his money. Me myself, I'm usually busy, so when I'm coding, I don't even have time. I used to say all this kind of, I'll be like, please, please, whenever I have time, I'll respond to you. So I've not really had this time, but I knew that profile picture. And so moving forward, I told him how is it my fault? How am I not straightforward? I have to take out time to code this. So I also gave him a video. I was actually thinking this guy would actually go watch this video to know that we had a course. We don't sell bots, but the course also had a zip file. So you could download the zip file, and while you're going through the course, instead of typing the whole thing yourself, you could actually edit the scripts. So now this is a full course, right? It was a course that taught you how to do the whole thing yourself, but then there was a zip code. So this zip code is practically everything you would learn in the course. This is already the codes you would end up putting, but you can actually edit this and edit that. But for you to know what these things do, you just go through the course. So the course will tell you, okay, this is what this thing does, and this is what that does. But now, for a typical person who just wanted to drive traffic to his website, gain impressions, gain CPC, telling them that they should now start modifying his scripts and then run it on the terminal and then install Node.js and then install VS Code. This whole thing felt like, I just want traffic. I'm not here for all this. If I wanted to be a software developer, I would have studied computer science in school. So most people will now be like, oh, you know what, we want a refund. Now, in as much as most people had a reason to want a refund, most other people would just want a refund after buying it and claim they don't understand it. When in reality, you would now start seeing that, oh, these courses are available on Telegram, people were downloading it, it was being pirated. So after shooting the video again and again, I just told myself one day that, come, you're doing the same thing and you're expecting a different result. When you shoot these videos, people will watch them, but they are not up to, then they're not up for learning how to create a bot. This is a course you should teach people who are already good at automation, or people who wants to learn automation as a career. How can you be teaching people automation when all they wanted to do was to just use a bot to drive traffic, right? So, and I said, okay, if I can make this easier for people, then I would not have to bother myself with teaching or piracy or Telegram. People will just download the software and use it themselves. So October I had announced this, November I went into the journey, and that was when I started becoming isolated. So the only thing I was doing was just to update. Like if you go through my content, you would see update, update, update. So like this is update on OKEkBot. This is when I would say, okay, this is an update, this is what we've been able to achieve. So it became more of different updates. I'm always doing lots of update around OKEkBot. This is another one. Update on okay. Okay, I think was this the previous one? Let me take you back again. So we had lots of updates. So I just started making lots of updates and updates and updates, and this was the only thing we were doing. So we're updating people while the product was still, um, ongoing. Okay, all this now. This is OKEkBot demonstration. So there are lots of videos showing you how OKEkBot would work while we're building it. Now, meanwhile, people had already entered like a pre-order. They had already paid for this and they were waiting. So while people were actually waiting for this whole bot to be done, I was at the background doing it. Two major things were happening. Some group of people felt this thing was not real. This guy has scammed us. He's giving us lots of excuses. He's telling us, he's doing this thing, but he's not doing it. Now, the official company's page, I was not involved. I don't like talking to customers. Like when I'm working, I want to be focused there. Meanwhile, my Instagram, if you have noticed, I'm a software developer. So people would always come to my Instagram and be like, hey, but because I work with lots of developers. And so a huge number of these developers, they talk to me for inspiration. I also share, what I do and all that. So I will just update one thing about the OKEkBot and I will just go offline for some days. So Instagram was where I was more familiar with updating. I also see update on our company channels like the WhatsApp, but I don't chat with people. So I will just drop my updates and I will go. If you check, you won't see any reply. So I will talk, but I don't reply. So I will just say, oh, this is what I'm working on at the moment, but you will not see me answer anybody. I just want people to know that I'm working. I'm not sleeping, but I'm not able to reply you because I'm actually working. So let it just be like this is what I am working on at the moment. See you guys whenever I see you people again. Till next time, goodbye. Drop my update and I go off. So now, meanwhile, some other people were like, "Come, are you sure this guy is not just taking money from people, telling them he's now building something everybody can use?" No, this guy is a scammer. So they started coming online to make things on forums, to post lots of libelous stuff, and they were like, okay, this whole thing is a scam. Now when people see those things, people see two major things. They see somebody who has a payment screenshot attached with a complaint of, I paid for this, I think I've been scammed. This person doesn't I've not been able to reach out to Mr. Daniel. He doesn't reply messages, he just comes in, he posts updates. Meanwhile, Mr. Daniel is in his don't mind me. Whenever I'm working, I usually stay so focused and I have this. That's how you do it. You see me now, I look diabolic. Not like I'm actually diabolic, but that's how I code. I take coding as a different thing. So I'm usually very, very in a mean state where I don't talk to anybody. I'm just doing my thing, putting on my hat, doing my thing. So I don't get to even have time to talk. So now it's not as if this person doesn't respond. Where is he? Why is he not talking to us? And now when you now chat to the company, you now had people like this I had trusted that was supposed to create content, update you. Another group is supposed to tell you, okay, this is where the project is heading to, this is what we've been able to do. But instead, it seems because Mr. Daniel doesn't get in touch with the company, he doesn't put his eyes on anything, he's just somewhere coding in isolation, we don't even know where he is. Okay, you say you want to pay for something, could you give us the money? Let's help you, receive it. And they were actually taking money from customers, which gave me a very bad name because then I would start seeing things like, oh, somebody blocked me. Now remember that whenever people pay, they get updates. But now it's different when somebody has sidelined the money and decided to block the person, so the person can't in any way reach out to the company to say, "Oh, I made payments for this," and this thing falls back to me. Nobody knows any of my employee. They don't even know them. They only know that, oh, he works for this person. So who takes the blame is me, and the customers don't even know what is happening. So I gave him a video, which is the video I just showed you now. But funny enough, this guy was not even listening to what I'm saying. Like it feels like he was more interested in trying to let me know I'm a thief, I'm a scammer. Even if I'm trying to let him know this is not what happened. This is not what happened. We had a course. This course uses stamina and command line. You had to edit so many things on a source code, which was quite difficult for people. They couldn't actually do it because it was a course that was just teaching them the basic thing. It wasn't as sophisticated as what we've been able to intertwine on OKEkBot, but then it was able to generate you earnings, although not as good as what we have right now because I had to put in extra work. But then, this was what it was. I had to go out to isolate myself to work. Well, this was his response. Yes, like everyone, I have the right to doubt. Honestly, he has every single reason to have a doubt. 101%. If he wasn't able to reach out to me, it is the fault of my team not to have communicated with the customers. It's their fault, but it's still my fault. It's my fault, it's my fault because I picked the team. So why did you pick people who couldn't be there when you lead? Which I understand, right? What I don't understand next is the next line of response. If money was paid and value wasn't given, it's your duty to seek. No, there was never a time money was paid and value wasn't given. It's either you go through the course, you download it and modify it. If you cannot use it, it's a different thing. But that was why the company started creating something that has a UI. So you no longer have to edit scripts. So you're not making it look like people pay, they don't give them anything, which was never ever the case. If you notice, my beginning was, it was never the case. Never has there been a time when people will pay and they won't get something. Maybe the videos were deleted, part of the videos, not even all. That is a different thing. You learn to an extent, but certain videos, just like I showed you guys, I like showing proof. Like this is a proof. I don't just talk. I show you proof, right? So some of the videos were being removed. YouTube doesn't want these things. I have better videos that involve how to hack your AdSense account and restore it if it has been disabled. There are lots of things I can do as an ethical hacker, but I can't put them here because I mean I might end up losing my channel. So I also went to Vimo, which happens to also be the same thing. Most of the videos were deleted. So there have never been a point when I happen to not want to give people what they paid for. Now it might look like that most times, which I understand, except maybe you now have to have a conversation with me, which people hardly do. They're more quick to run over to the internet, paste this a payment receipt, and then tell their own story. Now, most people don't want to hear from the other side, or even when you talk, they just already believe you're a scammer. So every single thing that you're saying, they're always telling themselves, no, he's a thief, he's trying to come up with something, and so it's difficult to even communicate with them. So I just don't bother, and that was exactly what was happening over here. So this was when he now said, okay, that his friend, he said his friend was the one who bought it. He said, I don't use OKEK bot, my groom paid for a bot he cannot use. So I think he's referring to OKEK bot. So he's actually not trying to say that, his friend paid for a bot he cannot use. But I thought he said as well at the beginning that when they pay, they don't give them the bots. But we don't even give a bot, right? Because the bot is something you download from the website. It's not like you have to pay money. Let me show you an example. Click here. That's all. It's downloading. When you download, you put your API key. So I don't really think you have to pay money to get a bot. You only pay money to unlock some access. For instance, on OKEK bots, there's certain things you could do for free, and there's certain things you have to actually pay. Like you can have up to 50 bots for free, but then when you want more bots and more features, you have to pay. So I'm wondering where the whole I paid for a bot and you did not give me the bot. At the moment, I don't even know if an employee scammed them. I don't even know. I've never seen any payment screenshots. But this person is so focused, he really wants to bring me down to him. I happen to be the one who scammed them. Even if I'm trying to really let him know, no, I was not available, I was isolated, I had to like work on this project, and now I'm done with it. Now watch his next line of reply. I'm actually making this video because I see things like this online. People would listen to people like him and they believe I'm a bad person. I happen to be the one who stole people's money, and they give me all those bad names. And because I'm always coding for one project or another project, I don't even have any time to make clarity. And this is why this has been long overdue. Okay, so he now said he doesn't use OKEK bot, but his groom paid for it or paid for the bot he cannot use. He had to go buy we had to go buy TBT, TBP. I don't know whatever was TBP. I think that's another bot. He now said which is what we use for AdSense accounts. So now this guy knows that there's OKEK bot. Can you see? He knows now that OKEK bot is done. But somehow he makes reference to when I was isolated and when I had people who were responding to customers, but who happened to do things that still to today I'm still shocked because I never believed it. But still tells me I'm not straightforward. Even if I had consistently made updates and still made updates to the YouTube. So I had made updates on the YouTube around the whole thing we're working on, consistent updates. Customers were being told, oh, this is where we have gotten to. This is where we've gotten to. Yes, I had somebody who started misbehaving. He would take money from people. He would tell them he would send them a zip code. I don't know if he doesn't. I know he was sending the zip code at the beginning, but I don't know if he took money from someone that never sent them a zip code. I don't know, but I think this person probably received the zip code, but maybe he doesn't know how to use it. Because at one point in time, he said he paid for this, they did not give it to him, and at that point he said he paid for this and they could not use it. So these are like two different things. I paid, I did not get. I paid, I could not use. I'm now using a different product. And then he now said, well, let your conscience be your guide. If you claim people got it, then I guess all the forums are making stuff up because they dislike you. Now this is where, when you see me delete people's comments or ban people, it looks like I'm shutting people up from speaking up their truths. How does this make sense to you? How does it make sense to you that somebody has a track record? He was building something. There were daily updates. There were lots of updates around the project. Yes, he knows he had put somebody who right now is on the rogue. He downloads my videos. He tries to use all my content to make money from people, which I feel so bad. How could I trust somebody like this? But yet still, this guy managed to find a way to put me there as the culprit. Like he wants to frame me as the culprit. He said people were complaining, but I still made mention that people could not wait. Most people could not. Most people felt this was taking too long. So if somebody said it was taking too long and he went online to call us name, so now the whole project is done. I believe you want to see people who has used it. Guess what? Let me show you something. I'm going to show you people who has used it. I'm going to click on I'm going to go back. I'm going to click on playlists. I don't have the time right now to keep going all the time, but I think I have lots of client reviews. So let's click on client review. Okay, no, this is client section. I don't think it's updated. Okay, this is client review. Now I have lots of client reviews, but these are the ones that made money from it. Now these are different people from different part of the world. Now if I head over to Cakebot and I type client section, these are people who have used the bots. These are videos. Now I've not been able to come online to keep making videos all the time, right? Now this particular, I think this one had some sensitive. Okay, I think I uploaded the video twice, so I had to private one. Now these are different episodes. It's not even complete because the episode was from one to about whatever it is right now. Okay, this is let me check again and say clients. Let me use the word clients. Okay, let me do show all. So these are client series. These are people who use the bot. You can actually download this. This guy doesn't even understand that. All you have to do is to head over to the website and click on download. He still feels somebody has to pay to download this. In other words, he doesn't watch my video. He has not even tried it out. He has not even seen for himself that OKBot could be better than whatever product he's using. But somehow he's now making references to when the project was being built, and people were complaining because they thought it wasn't real, and still telling me that, oh, do you mean these people were lying? Do you mean they don't like you? So what of the whole explanation I've been explaining, that right now I was isolated and I was working on this? That means it flew over his head. He wants to hold on to what he believed. Now this is me making this officially. I am not proud of the fact that I was not available. I never had anybody I could trust that was there for me. And now today, as I'm talking to you right now, I have betrayal trauma. I can't trust people anymore. I can't work with people anymore because it gives me a bad name. I trust somebody, the person goes there, steals from people. It comes back to give me a bad name because people don't know this person, they know me. Apart from this guy who was so bold enough to, start being like, he practically took the code, the initial source code, left the company, started making. If he hadn't made these YouTube videos claiming he knew every single thing I knew, I think if I was talking right now about somebody, in my company stealing money, people would think I was making all these things up. So it makes me feel bad till tomorrow that I had somebody who did something like this to me. But what I don't understand is how people still meet with the past. Please, should I call this a disclaimer? I think I'll call this Dannyokec scam story. So this will just be me telling you from one to the last. With every single thing in my life, I've never stolen from anybody. I've never taken a kobo, a cent from anybody, and not have the intentions of not delivering. Yes, most times I get into project I'm supposed to deliver on time, and it doesn't get at that particular time. It could overextend. But having to take money from people under false pretense, it's something I don't do. It's something I will never do. It makes me feel bad that I'm in a position where, I have to focus to do something, and instead of my team to be able to update these people, it felt like I didn't even have a team to start with. So I deeply apologize to this user, although he wants to be so adamant in whatever he believes, telling me that if my conscience, like, he's trying to make it look like, oh, you're a bad person, your conscience is so strong, oh, what are you claiming, right? I don't even understand. It was a pre-order. If you wanted to go use the code yourself, modify the source code on the tutorial. You couldn't. It's too difficult. You're not a software programmer, yes, But a software programmer could do that. So what did I do? I had to take the stress to create something you could use. Within the process of creating it, it took some time, and you and other people rushed to say it was a scam. Now the product is finally done. You're still believing what you want to believe. How do you expect me to do? What do you expect me to do again? I should start feeling bad that I actually took out time of my life, isolate myself to make this easy for you, to make it easy that what you paid for, even if you couldn't enjoy it at the beginning, now you can actually enjoy it. So I should actually just feel bad so you could feel good. Because at one point in time you thought I was a criminal or a scam, and now it makes you feel bad that I'm actually proving otherwise. But no, 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 no. You have to find way, put me in the picture again. Please ignore anybody who has something like this similar to say. This is Danokec. I think I've oversaid this. Let me head back to other things I have at hand.